You've probably heard of the deep web before, a place where all sorts of shady activities are going on. The deepest and darkest corner of the internet where you can meet actual killers and psychopaths. The dark web is actually a much more dangerous place than you might think. Even if you're on there as a joke, or your curiosity is piquing, you might find yourself in quite a bit of trouble. You probably think that your identity is hidden when you're on there. Well, let me tell you that it's not. Not only are the police monitoring you while you're in there, but there are probably other people and creeps staking you out as well. Today we're going to talk about the dark web, why it's the worst place to be in the world, and why you should avoid being there at all costs. At the very best, it will cost you your sanity and peace of mind. At the very worst, it will cost you your life. First of all, let's get into the most basic part of the internet. The internet as a whole is not what you know. Think of it like an iceberg where you can only see a very tiny part of it. That small part is known as the surface web. It is the most standard section of the internet that you know and explore. It's accessible by Google or any other search engine. Overall, it is tiny in comparison to the rest. The next part is the deep web. It's not accessible by standard search engines, and it makes up most of the internet. To get into it, it requires certain software such as Tor, which was actually created by the US government for private, anonymous, and secure communications. The dark web is the deepest point, but it makes up 0.01% of the deep web. Now, before we begin, the deep web is not only used for crime and murder. Ordinary organizations use it as well. The FBI as well as other government agencies use it, and WikiLeaks is part of the dark web. It is not illegal to roam it, but it is obviously dangerous. A lot of people feel free with their anonymity on the dark web, too free, and they become drawn closer to illegal activities. But they are not as anonymous as they might think, and curiosity might lead you down the wrong virtual rabbit hole. The smallest shady activity that you can do on there is to order or even pretend to order drugs. You can actually have it delivered to your doorstep. Many people have. In fact, there are overwhelming operations on the deep web with the sole purpose of selling all kinds of drugs. They even have reviews and ratings. Some have called it the Amazon of the drug trade. There was a sting operation that caught 300 kilos of drugs and 51 firearms, all that were stockpiled to be sold. This happens regularly and is not a once-in-a-lifetime bust or something special. The Wall Street market was responsible for this trade, and from the name you can assume how large the operation was and who its target audience was. Not long after the bust, it shut down for good. Going back to how incredibly sophisticated this operation was, it operated in 6 different languages: English, Spanish, French, German, Italian, and Portuguese. The owners made hella money selling heroin, cocaine, weed, and speed. They even sold malicious software to spy on people or hack them, counterfeit documents such as fake passports, official papers, or entry tickets. And they even sold stolen data. The website as a whole operated like any other e-commerce website like Amazon or eBay, but for trafficking illegal drugs. The FBI and other entities are always monitoring the dark web. You may think you have total anonymity, but trust me, you don't. One of the FBI's busts targeting dark web operations, one that was known as Dark Hunter, resulted in the arrest of 150 people and $25 million were seized. The operation was responsible for putting fentanyl in drugs like cocaine. Throughout that period, fentanyl overdoses spiked, and mostly all of the people who died didn't know that it was in there. There was even a website promoting and selling fentanyl-laced ecstasy tablets. To sum it up, you don't really know what you're getting even if you're buying softcore drugs. It could be laced with something much worse. Some people even pretend to sell drugs to get your personal information and rob you or blackmail you with it. There have been countless poachers who blackmailed normal people like you and me to either exploit them for money or get them to commit degrading acts for their own amusement. Moving on from drugs, there are much more disturbing things on the deep web than that. You can find videos of a man being cut up with a chainsaw, torture rooms, and other gore sites that are all over the internet. There are videos of people being stoned to death, beheadings, or whatever imagination people have to commit heinous crimes. Things that will haunt you. Although it is not illegal to watch or post these videos, it is illegal when they're the ones creating the content. The most infamous website was named Best Gore, and it had 10 to 20 million clicks a month. Its owner was arrested after posting one video titled "One Lunatic, One Ice Pick," a video featuring an unstable maniac named Luca Magnotta dismembering a man and sending his body parts to schools and political offices. The man became so infamous that Netflix created a documentary about him, but that could be part of the bigger problem. People like him are given way too much fame and exposure that, in a way, it kind of promotes the idea of following them to be famous. There are some psychopaths out there who are willing to do anything for fame. Accidental deaths and executions on the deep web exist, but on one dark corner of the web, two Ukrainians who called themselves the Dnipropetrovsk Maniacs brutally murdered 21 people in 2007, and they filmed most of it to post it on the dark web. The bigger issue is, people have been getting desensitized to this kind of content. Even if you watch it at first and you get sick, eventually by the 5th time you'll grow numb to it and get used to it, eventually wanting more, which will lead you down a dangerous path. Normal people will delve deeper and deeper into more disturbing things, and they will continue to get used to it, eventually even doing some of these things themselves. There are all kinds of disgusting sexual content, the illegal kind, on the dark web. The BBC reported in 2019 that 337 people were arrested for their participation and sharing of illegal sexual content, and every single one of them thought that his identity was hidden. The thing is, when people think they're anonymous, they feel overconfident and feel too safe, which drives them to do some insane things. What they don't know is that they're not really hidden. There was one case in the United States where a guy posted about wanting to kill his wife, asking for directions or different ways to do it. He wanted to ensure her death within 18 months to ensure custody of his child after they went through a divorce. He bought a highly toxic and very dangerous drug, and when he went to pick it up, he was surprised that the FBI were the actual sellers. After he was arrested, he said that he wanted to hire a hitman, but it was going to be expensive, so he just decided to kill her himself. There are countless hitman websites all over the dark web. How many of them are legit, though? We're not sure. But even trying to contact a hitman as a joke will get you in trouble. There is a hitman for hire website that states that if you want to kill someone, they have professionals throughout the US, Canada, and Europe. They will supply you with a contract killer easily for just $6,000. If you want, they will even make it look like an accident. There are a bunch of other websites such as Sicilian Hitman, Ndrangheta Hitman, Camorra Hitman, Bratva Mafia, and Yakuza Mafia. Straight out of John Wick's underground world, all offering the same services. The thing is, though, it turns out that they were all owned and run by the same person. The websites offered to beat up, set fire to, or kill targets. Hitmen would be assigned based on job specifications. The guy running it took the money and reported it to the FBI. A Florida woman posted that she was looking for a quick hit in southern Florida. Anyone available? She wanted to hire someone to kill her ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend that he was going to marry. The surprising thing is, this woman had a master's degree and a consulting business of her own. Countless other websites like that get creative with it, offering $5,000 for shooting, $20,000 for a sniper kill, and $2,000 for a casual beatdown. The deeper you dive, though, the more disturbing things get. A man by the name of Alexander Nathan Barter posted his desire of wanting to try necrophilia and cannibalism. He said he wanted to experience what it feels like to take a human life. The man posted an ad in 2018 and plotted to kill a teenage girl and fulfill his urges. Not a lot of people who post these kinds of things do so as a joke and never really plan to go ahead with anything, but not this man. When the man was caught and arrested, the police found a knife and plastic bags at his house. He was clearly ready to carry out his sadistic mission. Barter was sentenced to 40 years in prison for plotting to kill and eat a teenage girl. There was another website by the name of Cannibalism Cafe, where people posted about their desires to eat other people. They went into grim detail about their desires. Others posted about wanting to be eaten. One man by the name of Armin Maiwes wanted to eat another person. He contacted another man, Bernd Brandes, who had posted that he wanted to be eaten. Brandes, who fantasized about the idea of being consumed by another person, traveled all the way to Germany to Armin's house and allowed himself to be eaten voluntarily. Armin was arrested, and Brandes' body was found inside his house cut up in pieces, and Armin was sentenced to life in prison. You cannot make a story like that up. These are just ordinary people. In his trial, Armin said that had it not been for the website and the opportunity that presented itself through the deep web, He would have never done it and would have taken his secret desire with him to the grave. You see, what we're trying to tell you is that these are the kind of people you find on the dark web. Even if they are ordinary, everyday people, why would you want to interact with someone who's looking into the hardest drugs, gore, or cannibalism? Even if you're just joking around, people are watching you. Not just the police, who will investigate you and even arrest you. There are creeps out there waiting to find you. They will know your identity and your address. Who knows what they will do with it? This is a rabbit hole that you do not want to go down. There's just no need. The deep and dark web is truly one of the most grim places the world has ever seen. If this is the last remnant of humanity, then the aliens that find us will nuke the planet. We can actually see what will happen to the planet once it is nuked apart. Click on the link if you would like to know. Well, there you have it. What are your thoughts on the dark web? Have you ever visited it or planning to? If you made it this far, make sure to like and subscribe. It helps us out a lot. Leave a comment about what we should discuss next. See you in the next one.